My name is Adam, and I worked the night shift at a local radio station. While the rest of the city powers down, you are the one left awake, sitting in a dimly lit room, talking into the quiet. The job itself is remarkably predictable. You queue up the playlist, read the top-of-the-hour news bulletin, and answer a handful of calls from insomniacs or long-haul truckers. There is a deep psychological comfort in that repetition. The routine acts as a buffer. Night shift workers operate as the quiet sentinels, keeping watch over a sleeping world, insulated from the dark by a reliable wall of sound and schedule. We surround ourselves with highly manufactured technological environments. Banks of switches, dials, and glowing screens provide a rhythm to follow, creating a sense of absolute control over the night. That predictable rhythm held steady for Adam until one stormy Friday. A massive weather system rolled in, wrapping the station in heavy rain and static, physically cutting the building off from the outside world. Then, the clock hit exactly 3 a.m. Without warning, every single computer in the studio locked up simultaneously. The screens glitched and then completely froze in place. The music currently playing over the airwaves stopped dead. The studio went totally silent, and no one had even touched the controls. The terror of this silence lies in the vulnerability of our tools. It is the sudden, cold realization that the machines designed to bridge our connection to the world have instantly paralyzed us, leaving us blind and deaf in the dark. Overriding that frozen static, an emergency alert forced its way onto every monitor. But this broadcast lacked the standard government signatures or official emergency codes. Instead, the text displayed a single chilling instruction: do not look outside. This chart knobs alertness over a 24-hour cycle, dropping sharply at 3 a.m. In this circadian trough, core body temperature falls and melatonin peaks. The brain is flooded with sleep signals, leaving it highly susceptible to irrational fear. Adam's producer responded to the command with a laugh, but the sound was hollow. His brain was attempting to reconcile the bizarre alert with a physical state that was already leaving him disoriented and vulnerable. 3 a.m. anomalies are uniquely effective because we are physically compromised when they strike. When the unknown appears at this hour, it finds a human subject whose biological shields have already been lowered by the cycle of the day. Inside the studio, that vulnerability was immediately exploited. Every single phone line on the switchboard began ringing at the exact same time, filling the small room with a deafening cacophony. Neither Adam nor his producer picked up a receiver. The station's primary tool for communicating with the outside world had suddenly morphed into an overwhelming, paralyzing wall of noise. Then, the text on the emergency broadcast updated with a new command: if you hear knocking, do not respond. This taps directly into centuries of cultural history surrounding the witching hour. Across countless folklore traditions, 3 a.m. is the exact time when the veil separating ordered, waking reality from the unknown is at its thinnest. The alert constructs a vicious trap. By forbidding them to look outside or answer a sudden physical knock, it forces the men to hyperfixate on the tiny claustrophobic space of the radio booth, while transforming everything outside those walls into an active threat. True horror thrives in this state of absolute isolation. It pairs the loss of human contact with the crushing certainty that something else has occupied the space directly outside your door. Adam's story culminates in a total sensory overload. The studio is trapped in an echoing loop of screaming telephones and locked computer monitors, all while they braced for the sound of a physical knock on the studio door. And then, the final line of his broadcast log reads simply, "The lights," followed by a total plunge into darkness. The 3 a.m. mystery persists because it targets the precise moment where our modern safeguards vanish. It takes the very systems we use to monitor the world, the power grid, the radio signal, the telephone line, and turns them into a source of isolation. Ultimately, 3 a.m. reminds us that civilization is a fragile construct. When the systems fail, we are left alone with the same primal fear of the dark that existed long before the radio station was ever built.